It was about 3 in the morning when I noticed a squeezing feeling in my chest that seemed tied to my breath. Everything around me was quiet, except for the anxious feeling inside me that was building up like a wave about to crash. Something was really off, very off, and it wasn't just a simple thought. It felt like someone was shouting inside my head, but there were no words, just hurt. A hurt I couldn't put into words. That's when I heard him. Archangel Michael. He didn't talk in a soft, magical way. He yelled. His voice was full of sadness, like he was ready to cry. It was like he was about to lose his last bit of hope. You have 7 minutes left. 7 minutes to save your mother from dying. This is my final chance. I stood still. It felt like the ground was shifting, like everything around me was breaking apart in slow motion. He didn't show up with shiny armor or beautiful wings. He was crying, not calm tears, but the tears of someone who is deeply hurting for someone they care about. Someone who sees the suffering of a soul that is about to disappear. And in that moment, I realized this wasn't just a dream. It was happening for real. He was trying to save me from the greatest hurt of all, losing my mother and being powerless to stop it. If you have ever felt that time was against you, that everything could change if only you had a bit more time, then you understand what it's like to hear a desperate angel. And it's not just any angel, it's Michael. For a moment, I wanted to think it was all in my head due to fear. That my mind was tricking me, but his sadness left no room for doubt. When he looked at me with watery eyes, I felt the urgency of something that was about to happen. Something that could still be prevented. But not for long. Have you ever noticed that some warnings aren't just random, but are calls for help? There are times when the universe shouts through signs, and if we ignore them, it becomes silent. And when it goes silent, it might be too late. Before we move on, say this in the comments. I choose to pay attention to what life is trying to teach me before it's too late. Now back to the message. The sadness Miguel felt wasn't just for himself. It was for me. For you. For everyone who sometimes doesn't see that we are just moments away from something that could change our lives forever. And not because we did something wrong, but because we didn't act when it was most needed. At that moment, my thoughts were full of past experiences. I thought of all the times I didn't call my mom because I was exhausted, busy with life, or assumed I would have another chance tomorrow. I recalled the moments I said to myself, I'll go see her later, and that later never happened. I remembered the little fights we had, the hugs I should have held on to longer, and the things I never told her because I was too proud. Now I had just 7 minutes. 7 minutes feel like nothing, but they mean everything when it comes to someone we care about. Miguel wasn't shedding tears because he was weak. He was crying because he realized I could still make a difference. More than that, he cried because even though he was someone strong and brave, he couldn't make my heart feel or take action. He could only ask. So I stood up. I was crying. I picked up the phone. My mom's voice was weary but still full of life. At that moment, even without knowing why, she started crying too. She mentioned feeling something odd. She was scared. She said she had been thinking about me all night. That call made a difference. It helped her. It helped me, and it saved precious moments that could have been lost forever. But this isn't only about me. Can you believe something important could be just 7 minutes away from you right now? It might be forgiveness you need to give, a message you need to share, a meeting that you're putting off because of pride, an apology that could mend years of hurt. A simple action could stop a loss that can't be fixed. You received this message at the perfect time, but you have to act quickly, not because of fear, but because there's a real opportunity, one last chance. And if today feels heavy, and you sense something urgently calling you, it might be that you also have something valuable to protect. Now is the time to listen, to connect, to not wait any longer. Michael cries not because he's weak, but out of love. A love so profound for us that he is willing to let go of his strong warrior image just to tell us, there's still time. but it's running out. And I honestly ask you, can you think of someone who needs to hear your voice right now? Can you feel that there's something time can't take away, but your unwillingness can ruin? If you answered yes, then you already know what you have to do. Archangel Michael is telling us that there's still time, but only if you let yourself take action, to feel, to call, to forgive, to love. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment is now. And if you're still unsure about how important this message is, think about someone you care about really much. Picture that this person might not be here tomorrow. What would you do if you knew you only had 7 minutes left with them? The sadness Michael feels is for everyone who has let time slip away without doing anything. But when someone chooses to take action, the relief he shows feels like witnessing a miracle. Don't wait until it's too late. She was alive, but how much longer would that be? That question kept playing in my mind. The call had saved something important that I didn't fully understand yet. And at the same time that I felt relief, I also felt a chill. Because I realized that what just happened was more than just a scare or a coincidence. It was a warning, a strong message. Miguel didn't come for no reason. He was aware. He knew what was about to happen. And he did something that many people can't do. He cried for me. He woke me up. And now, even though my mother was still alive, the urgency didn't go away. In fact, it felt even stronger, because I had no idea what else might be in danger. What else could be just minutes away from being lost forever? That morning was not just about waking up to save a life. It was like a door opened inside me. In the days after, I started to see the small things. The signs that the universe sends all the time, but we usually ignore. A butterfly that showed up by my window at the same time each day. A number that kept appearing on the clock. A familiar song that played every time I got into the car. Everything felt like it was talking to me. Everything seemed to be trying to show me something. Have you ever experienced that? Like the whole world was saying something, but you were the only one noticing? It felt like time had become more delicate. Like everything could change at any moment. And the strongest feeling I had was, you have time, but not much of it. And in this state of being alert, feeling both thankful and scared, Miguel came back. But this time, he wasn't crying. He was calm. He still had watery eyes, but something felt different. There was strength. There was hope. He said, "You listened. You responded. But now, you have to go further. What's at stake is not just her life. It's yours too. Your story, your balance, your truth." Miguel talked about a cycle, something that has been happening for a long time. Mothers getting sick from carrying the burdens of their children. Daughters hiding their own pain so they don't worry their mothers. Homes where love turns into guilt and caring mixes with feeling worn out. An invisible cycle that silently hurts but does more damage than physical illness. And then he asked me, "Are you prepared to change this pattern?" His words really struck me, because up until that point, I believed I was only helping her survive, but now, I understood that I needed to help myself too, our story. I recalled when I was young and saw my mom crying while she thought no one was watching in the bathroom. I didn't get why she was upset, but I could feel it. I sensed that something was wrong. Even without saying anything, I figured out how to hide my own hurt. I didn't want to add to her worries. I didn't want to be another problem. And now I saw that I was doing the same thing with my daughter. I kept my feelings quiet, forced to smile even when I was hurting inside. Without realizing it, I was teaching her to act the same way, to repeat this cycle. What I'm about to tell you might change everything. Miguel explained that a true miracle is not only about stopping a death, it's about changing a life. And this change only happens when we confront the truth directly, no disguises, no pretending. When we bravely examine our family history and declare, "This stops here." Then, I remembered how I felt when I first heard her voice that early morning. The desperation, the urgency, the sense that time was slipping away. It wasn't just about my mom's health. It was about our truth, our bond, our healing that we had never achieved. Miguel told me that to avoid the worst, it's not enough to care for the body. We also need to care for the soul. Many physical problems are just cries from the heart that have gone unheard. Pain that has built up over many years, trapped and suffocated. And now, it was showing itself in the only way it could, through suffering. He spoke strongly. Healing starts with forgiveness, and forgiveness starts with the truth. And the truth is, my mom also felt pain. She was scared too. She stayed quiet to keep me from worrying. Maybe that's why we emotionally disconnected without even knowing it. Each of us trying to protect the other, but forgetting that deep down, we just wanted a fearless hug. A glance without judgment, and "I love you" said without fear. Now, before we move forward, please write in the comments 111 to ask for bravery, connection, and repairing family ties. This number stands for a fresh start, and it appears because you too are about to begin something significant again. If this message has touched your heart in any way, click on "Thank you" to support this message. This simple action helps us share healing words with more people. Miguel was still there, gazing at me with kindness. And then he said something that completely changed my perspective on everything. You don't have to deal with everything by yourself. You figured that out, but now you can let go of that idea. You can learn in a new way. You can live in a new way. His words made me feel like a heavy weight was lifted off my shoulders. It was like an invisible chain that had snapped. I realized that if I kept trying to fix everything alone, I wouldn't just be harming myself. I would be stopping the people who care about me from being able to heal with me. I knew I had to talk to my mom, but not about tests, medicines, or labels. I needed to discuss us. I needed to express that I was scared too. That sometimes I felt exhausted. That I wanted to embrace her not just as her daughter, but also as another woman. And that I was ready to listen to everything she had been too scared to share with me. Because deep inside, I understood. She also needed support. And time was still ticking away. I took a big breath and decided it was time. I held the phone, but it felt extremely heavy. It wasn't because she was far away or I was unsure of what to say. It was because, in that moment, I realized this call would be more than just another chat. It would be the start of something we had never truly experienced. A genuine connection. No defenses, no pretending. No fear of looking weak, mother and daughter. Two women with stories filled with quiet hurt and strength hidden in silence. I called. She picked up on the second ring. Her voice seemed different, more delicate, but also more open. She could tell something in me had shifted. So without practicing or planning, I said, "Mom, we need to talk." For real this time, silence. And then she cried. It wasn't a cry of hopelessness. It was a cry that said thank you. Thank you for finally breaking down the barrier. For letting her feel safe enough to lower her guard too, and we talked. We talked about things that had never been said before. About the loneliness we felt even when we were together. About the fears we pretended didn't exist. About how, for so many years, we cared for each other the wrong way, thinking that protecting each other meant hiding things, when really, protecting means being open. Miguel was right. That was the start of healing. Because the real pain wasn't in her body. It was in everything she had been holding inside for so long. And now it was being brought into the open. For the very first time. Have you ever noticed how the body shouts out what the heart is trying to hide? The sickness that scared us that early morning was really just the last bit of pain we've held in for so long. It was like a glass that had spilled over with all our sadness and unspoken feelings. And now that glass was starting to empty, drop by drop. At that moment, while I was still on the phone, I sensed someone coming closer. It was Miguel. This time, he didn't say a word. He simply watched us and smiled. It was a small, calming smile, like someone who knows that a big problem has been avoided. That the worst was no longer about to happen. In that quiet moment, I realized He didn't save my mom that morning with just words. He helped her by showing me the truth I needed to see, the shock that woke me up before it was too late. Before I go on with the message, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now is a great time to do it. Doing this helps us keep making meaningful videos for you. Now let's continue with the message. Don't think everything was perfect after that. It wasn't a fairy tale. It was a journey. In the days after, my mom and I started to learn how to live with each other again. For the first time, she said she felt scared, that even when she was with people, she felt alone. And I finally told her that sometimes I felt like I was taking care of her, that it made me tired, sad, and puzzled. And something really wonderful happened. The guilt started to go away. It made room for understanding, for compassion, and real care. What Miguel helped me see, and what I understand now, is that when a connection is healed deeply, everything changes for the better. I noticed this in my dreams, my feelings, and how I looked at my daughter. I didn't need to keep repeating the same old patterns. Now, I was aware of them. Before all this, I thought I had to be my mom's savior. Now I see we both needed to help each other move on. Maybe that's why you're here now. Because there's someone in your life that you love a lot, but it feels like there's an invisible gap between you two. This gap is made of unspoken words, unfinished conversations, and missing affection. It might be your mom. It might be your dad. It might be a brother, a daughter, or anyone you sense is drifting away, even if they are right next to you. Miguel is showing you this now, because there is still a chance. There are still 7 minutes left, one last chance. But you have to choose whether to respond to that call. And if your heart started to race, if your eyes got a little misty, or if you felt like this story was about you, don't ignore it. That's the sign. That's the moment. If you feel deep down that this message has reached you, click on "Thank you very much." Your support helps us keep sharing words that heal and uplift. What is ahead will be even more significant. Because what Miguel is about to share goes much deeper than our personal pain. It relates to struggles we have carried for many years. And the solution to all this is inside you. The next few days felt like a mix of unusual calm and feelings that seemed to come from a long time ago. Whenever I closed my eyes, I sensed that it was not just my story being healed, but also the stories of many women in my family who had quietly held similar pains. It felt like every time I made peace with my mother, an invisible thread from the past was loosened, bringing up old memories, other hurts, and tears that had never been shed. During this time, in between our talks, I started to have dreams that felt more like memories. I saw faces I didn't recognize, but they felt familiar. I experienced feelings that weren't entirely mine, but were somehow part of me. And a voice that I kept hearing said, "You are the bridge that can end the silence that has lasted for generations." But this can only happen if you have the bravery to face what has been kept out of sight. That's when I understood why Miguel had come. He didn't arrive just due to a physical issue. He came because there was a deeper connection being awakened, a cycle that needed to be closed. A pain that had been passed down from mothers to daughters for many years. And now I had the opportunity to change things. But changing things takes bravery. It means admitting that some wounds won't heal by themselves. To heal, we have to go back to where the hurt began. And often, facing that pain hurts even more than the original injury. One night, I had a dream about a woman who looked very much like me. She was on her knees, her hands covered in dirt, crying out for someone. When I walked closer, I realized she wasn't calling a specific name. She was saying, "See me, hear me, I am here." Then she looked straight into my eyes and said, "I am you when you forget who you are." I woke up trembling. It really affected me. Because how many times in trying to help my mother had I lost sight of myself? How many times did I push my feelings down so others wouldn't worry? How many times did I pretend to be strong when I really wasn't? This is when Miguel returned. He wasn't in a rush. He didn't seem desperate. Instead, he was gentle yet firm. showing the understanding that only someone who knows the weight of tough choices can have. He told me, "You have helped her. But now you need to help yourself too, because a soul that forgets itself to save someone else will also suffer." Those words hit me hard. How often do we think we're being strong when we're really just fading away? How often do we mix up love with always sacrificing ourselves quietly? On that day, I realized that saving someone doesn't mean carrying their burdens. It means setting them free. For the first time, I looked at my daughter and wondered, what lessons about love am I giving her? If I keep hiding my needs and ignoring my pain, she will think that's how to act too. And then the same pattern will repeat, but this time, with her. Miguel then showed me an unforgettable picture. It felt like every woman in my family was linked by an unseen chain. Each chain link stood for passed down pain, silence, and expectations that were never said. But when my mother and I hugged, one of those chains broke. The light from that break was so powerful that it brightened the faces of all those women. In that moment, I realized I'm not just living for me. I'm healing for all of us. Maybe you feel something similar. Like there is a voice inside you urging you to change something that can't keep going this way. Even if you can't explain it clearly, it's like you know you're here for a bigger purpose. Miguel wants you to understand that you're not imagining things. What you feel is genuine. And more importantly, it matters. Before moving on, take a moment to write in the comments, "I let go of the pain that isn't mine to bring forth this healing energy in you." This statement is important. It was chosen for a reason. Miguel wanted me to share it now because your heart is ready for this change. And if this message resonates with you deeply, and you want to help more people receive messages like this, please click on "Thank you very much." Every bit of support is like a spark that keeps the light of this mission alive. Time began to feel different. After that morning, each second seemed heavier, more meaningful than before. I started to see how much I lived on autopilot, focusing on others, solving problems, and playing my roles. But I wasn't really tuned into myself. One morning, while drinking coffee by myself, I felt Miguel close to me once again. There wasn't any bright light. There were no loud sounds, just a deep quiet and a comforting energy wrapping around me like a warm blanket. He didn't have to say anything. His presence alone communicated everything. You still have time. There's still so much to change. And at that point, a memory popped into my head. I was just 9 years old. I was sitting on the couch hearing my mom cry from the next room. I tried really hard not to cry, like I was a little grown-up trying to be tough. That day, I learned that being strong meant holding back tears. It wasn't about showing fear. It was about looking after others, even when I needed a hug too. But now that I'm all grown up, I realized how much that had affected me. That child still lives inside me, wanting love and care. And with that memory, I figured out that to really take care of someone else, I first needed to take care of myself. Miguel's visit wasn't just a one-time miracle. It was the beginning of something new. It invited me to rebuild. Each memory he helped me relive, every emotion I felt, showed me that I made it through all that time. Yet I hadn't truly lived. Maybe you feel the same way right now. Like you've spent your whole life being strong, but no one has genuinely listened to you. Like you've carried so much weight on your shoulders, yet forgot about your own feelings. Miguel says it's time to pause, to breathe, to look deep within yourself with kindness, and to realize that you deserve care too. You deserve to be heard. In the days after that, I started doing something new. I wrote letters to myself, to all the different versions of me I had been, to the scared little girl, to the confused teenager, to the tired woman, and most of all, to the part of me that felt guilty for not doing enough, for not being better, for missing the signs earlier. With each letter, I let go of some pain. I cried. I cried like I hadn't cried in ages. It wasn't a sad cry. It felt like a cry of freedom, of reconnecting, of feeling relief. Because finally, I was really paying attention to myself. And Miguel taught me something beautiful. Every time I faced an old hurt, it seemed to break a hidden connection. Like each pain I acknowledged untied a knot in my family history, and every knot untied also freed the women who came before me. At that moment, I realized something deep. The healing I was going through wasn't just for me. It was for all of us. And maybe you are the first in your family to be brave enough to face this. The first to say, enough is enough. Even if you don't say it out loud, that choice is powerful. Because it creates a ripple effect. It vibrates through the family. Miguel explains that when a woman decides to heal, it changes the entire family dynamic. That's why he returned today. To remind you that your choice matters. It is sacred. Now, if you are reading this message, it's not by chance. You might feel like there's something from the past that needs to be let go of. Maybe you have seen the same problems happening over and over. You might feel strange pains in your body, have issues in your relationships, or feel tired all the time. Miguel wants to tell you, this is your moment to take action. If you think you're facing this alone, remember, you are not. There's a bigger power guiding you. There's a caring presence reminding you that you still have time, but you have to take action yourself. You must look honestly at who you are. If something inside you is moved right now, if this message speaks to your heart, please click, "Thank you so much." This helps us share messages like this with many others who, like you, feel emotionally drained, but haven't found the right words to express it. Before we go further, please write in the comments, "I accept my pain with love and courage." This statement is important. It creates a space for other truths to come out, and with them, freedom. This morning, Miguel showed me one last picture. It was a big room filled with many women sitting quietly. Each one was holding a small mirror, but none of them were looking at themselves. They were all staring at each other, searching for strength in one another's eyes. Then one of them lifted her mirror, and when she looked at her own reflection, she cried. It was a silent tear, but it was full of life, because in that moment, she didn't just see her own face. She saw everyone else too. When she paid attention to herself, all the others began to do the same thing. And then, the room was bright with light. Miguel told me, "You are that woman. You are the one who takes the first step." That's why your pain often feels heavier. But that's also the reason why your healing will be the strongest. That picture stays in my thoughts. It reminds me that I'm not just here by accident, and neither are you. If up until now you felt something different, if something has reached parts of you that have been quiet for a long time, it's because the moment has arrived. The era of silent suffering is coming to an end. And you, who are here today, are being invited to make different choices. Choose for yourself, for your daughter, for your mother, for those who came before us, and for those who will come after. Because when you pick the truth, everything starts to fall into place. It was in that picture shown by Miguel, with all those women holding mirrors and seeing themselves for the first time, that everything clicked. It wasn't about rescuing someone. It never was. It was about understanding that, for years, we were taught to get by without looking at our own needs, to care for others while our own feelings got pushed away to a dark spot in our hearts. And now, for the first time, I realized that I was ready not to repeat the past, ready to be the first woman to stand up, not from pride, but from love. Love for life, for truth, for what's real. That afternoon, with the gentle sun shining through the living room window, I sat with my daughter in my lap. She gazed at me with the most innocent eyes I've ever seen. And she asked, "Mommy, are you sad?" I paused, for a few seconds. But I decided she deserved to hear the truth. "I'm learning not to be," I answered. "I'm learning to cry when it hurts, to say I'm tired when I am, to ask for a hug, even if it doesn't seem needed." She hugged me tightly, without saying anything more. It was like she understood that in that moment, it wasn't a daughter hugging her mother. It was a little woman welcoming a bigger woman. And something there got healed, Miguel was right. The miracle was already happening, and it didn't show itself in big, flashy ways, but in small, everyday actions, in a breakfast filled with conversation, in a phone call made without waiting for the right moment, in a quiet apology accepted with silence. This miracle doesn't come with loud sounds, it comes with truth. And that's why this message has found you. Because there's something inside you that knows you cannot keep going like this. That there are connections that need to be fixed. That there are ties that long for truth, for reconnection, for coming together. Maybe you grew up being told that being strong means tolerating everything. But Miguel wants you to understand. Being strong means allowing yourself to feel. It means not carrying the weight on your own. It is knowing how to say, I need help. And even more, being strong means letting go of what hurts you, even if it goes against traditions and what others expect from you. Now you might be asking, how do I begin? Start by paying attention to yourself. Notice what your body has been trying to communicate to you for a long time. Begin by forgiving yourself for times when you neglected your own needs, just to make others happy. For the moments you kept your tears to yourself so you wouldn't bother anyone. For the times you smiled to cover up how tired you really were. And begin by observing your surroundings. There is someone nearby who could also use a warm hug. It might be your mom, it might be your sister, it might be your daughter, it might even be you. Healing starts when you make the choice to face what you really feel. Then, Miguel showed me one last image. He took me to a wide open field filled with tall trees and a soft breeze. There was a circle of hundreds of women of all different ages, backgrounds, and expressions. They were holding hands, and right in the middle of the circle was an altar that seemed to shine with light, the spirit of female connection, the healing energy of many generations. And he said, people who come together for the truth can change what has happened. They can set the future free, I cried. Because in that moment, I realized that everything I went through had meaning. Every tear, every hurt, every moment of silence, everything had a reason. Everything led me to this point, and now I want to take you with me. I want to invite you to something more than just viewing a message. I want you to join our spiritual family. Yes, you are part of it. Here, we aren't just names commenting on a video. We are people who have chosen to see ourselves as souls that feel, that go through tough times, but who are also ready to heal. I want you to share your story in the comments. Write about your experiences, your struggles, your hopes, your light. Because every story helps someone else. And when you open up, you might help someone who has been quiet for a long time. What did you take away from this video? What moved you the most? How did this message change your life? We want to hear from you. Because here, we aren't just creating any normal community. We are forming a spiritual family. A real support system where you can come back whenever life feels too heavy. A place where you can truly be yourself without pretending. And remember, you are not alone. You never have been. If this message spoke to you and what you're going through, write in the comments. I am the bridge of healing for my family. Share your stories. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel for more uplifting content. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.